Of course. Here is the text, regenerated to enhance its narrative flow and emotional resonance while preserving all the essential information. Take a moment and think about your morning. What is the first thing you do? Do you reach for your phone? Stretch into the dawnlight? Or perhaps, you make a cup of coffee. For billions, coffee is more than a drink. It is a steadfast companion, a warm beginning, the gentle spark that ignites the mind. Every single day, humanity drinks over 2 billion cups. This means that at almost any given moment, someone, somewhere, is cradling warmth in their hands. Coffee offers us energy, but it also grants us something subtler, time. Time to think, to talk, to simply be. It connects us in bustling cafés, quiet homes, and humming offices. It is the world's second most traded commodity, after oil. Wars have been fought over it. Empires were built upon it. Revolutions were plotted in its steam. Yet, its invention, the way we roast, grind, and brew it, was never part of a grand design. It wasn't discovered by a king or a scientist. It began with a handful of dancing goats and one curious man in the Ethiopian highlands. Yes, goats. That simple accident would forever alter the rhythm of human history. So let's travel back. Let's discover how a small, unassuming red berry became the world's favorite elixir. This is not merely a story about a beverage. It is a story about curiosity, happy mistakes, and the quiet magic of discovery. So, sit back. Relax. Perhaps take a sip from your own cup. This is the accidental majesty of coffee. Before coffee entered our world, life moved to a different tempo. People rose and retired with the sun. There was no swift remedy for drowsiness, no easy path to alertness. When darkness fell, productivity ceased. The common drinks were simple: water, often unsafe, milk, quick to spoil, and wine or beer, consumed even at breakfast. These beverages might soothe, but they also clouded the mind. Humanity lacked a drink that could sharpen focus and sustain wakefulness. In the deserts and towns of Arabia and North Africa, this need was acute. Days were scorching, nights were long, and labor was relentless. Traders, scholars, and especially Sufi monks, who sought divine connection in the night's quiet hours, craved something to keep their eyes open and their minds clear. They were waiting for a new kind of sustenance, one that offered vitality without intoxication, clarity without chaos. They simply needed one person to notice what everyone else had overlooked. Our story begins over 1,000 years ago, in the green highlands of Ethiopia. A young goat herd named Cody tended his flock. One day, he noticed his goats behaving strangely. They were leaping and frolicking with boundless energy. Intrigued, Cody followed them and saw they were nibbling bright red berries from a dark green shrub. He sampled the berries himself and was soon flooded with a vibrant alertness. Believing he had found a source of strength, Cody brought the berries to a nearby monastery. A monk, wary of this unknown fruit, declared it the devil's work and threw them into the fire. Then, something miraculous happened. As the beans roasted, a rich, irresistible aroma filled the air. Captivated, the monks raked the seeds from the embers, ground them, and dissolved the powder in hot water. That night, they drank the dark liquid, and stayed awake through their prayers. The first cup of coffee was born. Not from science, but from accident, not from design, but from curiosity. A shepherd's observation and a monk's rejection had collided to create something wondrous. The tale of Cody was only the prologue. Coffee's true journey, the one that would weave it into the fabric of civilization, began when it crossed the Red Sea to Yemen in the 1400s. There, Sufi mystics perfected it as a tool for nocturnal devotion. They roasted beans in pans over fire, listening for the crackle, smelling for the perfect roast. It was an art of patience and intuition. With each mistake, they learned. They discovered that heat could unlock the bean's hidden soul, the deep, sustaining flavor that sharpened the mind. Word spread. Traders and scholars tasted this kawa, the drink that wards off sleep. For the first time, here was a beverage that enlivened the intellect instead of dulling it. It moved from spiritual ritual to daily custom, brewed in homes and markets. Shaped by centuries of quiet devotion, coffee was ready to step onto a wider stage. By the 1500s, coffee reached Mecca, transforming from a private devotional aid into a social catalyst. The world's first coffee houses appeared. These were spaces humming with conversation, where people debated politics, composed poetry, conducted business, and shared stories over the shared warmth of a cup. Coffee was no longer just a drink, it was a movement fostering community and the free exchange of ideas. Of course, such a powerful force met resistance. Authorities in Mecca and later in Europe saw coffee houses as dens of rebellion and dissent. They banned the drink, calling it dangerous, even satanic. But the people's love for coffee was stronger. In a legendary turn, Pope Clement VIII, upon tasting coffee, is said to have quipped, "This devil's drink is so delicious, we should cheat the devil by baptizing it." He blessed it, and coffee was welcomed into the Christian world. It had become a symbol of intellectual freedom, and no edict could suppress it. With acceptance, coffee's influence exploded. In European, penny universities, a single coin for a cup brought entry into vibrant discussions on science, philosophy, and commerce. These hubs birthed newspapers, insurance companies, and stock exchanges. Thinkers like Voltaire shaped Enlightenment ideas over coffee. Menses transformed, too. People replaced morning beer with coffee, bringing unprecedented clarity and focus to the start of the day. The world had truly awakened. The demand sparked a global scramble. The Dutch smuggled plants to Java. The French, most famously via an officer named Gabriel de Clou who nurtured a single seedling across a treacherous Atlantic voyage to Martinique, spread it to the New World. Vast plantations soon covered Brazil, Colombia, and beyond, though this expansion was tragically built on the backs of enslaved and exploited labor. Coffee became a pillar of global trade, fueling economies and empires. Innovation followed scale. The Italian espresso machine created a new, intense coffee culture. Instant coffee democratized it for the masses. Today, coffee is a vast global chain linking farmers in remote hills to baristas in sprawling cities, fueling billions of daily rituals. So, coffee's story is ultimately a human story. It's a tale of the shepherd's curiosity, the monk's experimentation, the trader's ambition, and the thinker's inspiration. It began as a serendipitous discovery and grew into a universal ritual of connection. It gives us more than caffeine, it offers a moment of pause, a catalyst for conversation, a vessel for creativity. Every cup you hold carries this epic journey, from Ethiopian highlands to Yemeni monasteries, from Ottoman coffee houses to Enlightenment salons, from sailing ships to modern roasteries. It is a testament to our ability to transform the simple and ordinary into something extraordinary. So with your next sip, remember, you are part of a timeless story, one that continues to be written with every brew, in every corner of the awake and dreaming world.